I wasn't sure. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, Megan, thanks for jumping on. CrossFit Renfrew.
Yes.
Did I say that right?
You did.
And that's your gym in the background.
This is my gym in the background. I wanted to make sure our awesome banner was up. I'm super proud of it. I've been in the CrossFit world for a really long time, and now I own an affiliate. So I'm just really proud of that.
How long have you been involved with CrossFit? How long have you done CrossFit?
I probably did my first CrossFit workout, not in an affiliate though, in 2006 in like a mainstream gym. And then I did my first workout in a CrossFit affiliate in 2008. And that was in Edmonton, Alberta. And it was called CrossFit Lineage.
Oh, wow.
Way back in the day. Yeah. I'm OG for sure.
Did you know Brett Marshall and James Fitzgerald and all of those guys?
No, my coaches at that gym were named Chris Morgan and Cam, and I can't remember Cam's last name, but they were like super OG CrossFit guys, and yeah, it was just a different time. Like I remember driving to the gym the first time, going into this like industrial area, being like, "What am I doing?" Like I was expecting, a gym, and I like open the door and it's a CrossFit gym. And I'm like, "Hey, I'm here for foundations class." And they're like, "Yeah, it's just you." I'm like, "All right." And we busted out Fight Gone Bad and I was sold immediately. Yeah.
So why did you go into a gym that time? Or like, how did you find CrossFit?
So before I was a police officer, I was doing these boot camps with an instructor in like a mainstream gym. And I said, "Hey man," his name was Brad. I was like, "Hey Brad, like, where do you get these workouts?" He's like, "I get them from this website called CrossFit.com. And I was like, "Cool." And they were so fun and hard. And anyway, fast forward a couple of years, I went through police officer school. I was posted. I was just going to the gym again, doing like boring, like get on the treadmill, do some weights. And I was just like, "Man, this is so boring." And then I looked across the gym and saw this guy doing kipping pull-ups. And for whatever reason, I like associated those kipping pull-ups with those boot camps. And I was like, CrossFit, like the name CrossFit just came in my mind. And I got home and I Googled CrossFit Edmonton and 2 gyms popped up. CrossFit Lineage happened to be the first one that I was closest by my house. And I was like, "Oh man, I'm going to just go do this." And I drove there all sheepish and then did one workout and just like, it changed my entire life from that moment.
That's amazing. Are you still a police officer?
I'm a retired police officer now. Okay. I did 17 years as like a Canadian Mountie, and I retired a couple of years ago, but I still work for the organization, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, but I'm a civilian now.
Okay. And you actually, so you've been doing it since 2006, almost as long as I have. I've only started a couple years before you did.
Yeah.
And you only recently opened up this gym though, correct?
Yes. So I spent the majority of my years just being a class athlete, like come in, do a class, leave, and got like pretty good just doing that. In 2017, like I've done every open. In 2017, I was just looking, I was like 403rd in my age group, which was the 35 to 39. And I was like, "Oh man, like I'm pretty good at this." And then I started doing some extra things. And then the next year I was like, "Man, I'm getting even better." Like I almost made the like age group online qualifier that next year. And then I was like, "Man, like, okay, like I'm going to like really do some extra things." And at that time, like 10 years in almost, I decided to take my L1 and I loved it. Like the instructors, just how dialed in it was. Like I'm a very like structure person. So I just really enjoyed that aspect. And I did my L1, started coaching, and then started getting really serious about my training. And then kind of have been sort of on the road to like trying to go to the games, but like not really, but just training hard and just trying to improve. And then being a coach. And I did a lot of coaching for many gyms and just like always wanted to open an affiliate, but the right opportunity didn't really present itself until a few years ago, after like a big geographical move back to Nova Scotia, which is where I live and is where the gym is now.
Couple questions.
Yeah.
It's funny that in 2017 you said, "Oh, I'm pretty good at this." That's like 11 years after you started. It took you that long to realize you were pretty good at it?
Well, I knew like I was decent at it, but like I'm very goal oriented, and I like never wrote down the goal of like, I want to go to the games. Like it seemed so like a needle in a haystack for my age group, because it was like 10 people out of the entire world, and there was all these stages to go through. So I just kind of like, I don't know, it was kind of like, just control the controllable, like do your thing and see what happens. And eventually I just started noticing like the improvements on the leaderboard, and I was like, okay, like, I don't know. And then, yeah, here we are. I've been to the games twice now.
Awesome. What years?
Last year. So the first year where it was separate, in Birmingham. Actually, I met you there, but you probably met 1,000 people, so whatever. And the year before, so the last year it was in Madison, I went, and like, mind blowing. It was kind of like an accident. Like, I honestly didn't even mean to make it, but
how'd you do at each of the games?
So at Madison, I qualified in like the 10th spot. There was 10 of us who went. Wow. I qualified in the 10th spot, and I think I finished, was it 8th? So I moved up a little bit. I was like there wasn't very many rookies. Like, it was all like, my age group is like, there's a lot of good people in there.
Yeah.
And then last year I went, there was like 40 athletes, and I finished 11th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Having experienced both, did you have fun at Birmingham? I mean, it clearly is different not being a game.
Yeah.
Was it still a good time?
It was still a good time for sure. Like, I think the move to have masters have their own event is super smart and good and great for the sport and for masters. Yeah. I mean, I think it was an awesome first year. I think the programming needs a bit of work.
Okay.
A lot of work. Like, don't make us load our own bar on a snatch ladder. That's for speed. I don't know. That kind of pissed me off. But like, other than the programming, like, I thought the event was awesome. The support was amazing. Like, it was really good, and I hope to go back. So yeah.
I'm glad you appreciated the change, because I really thought, like, when it was part of the big games, it was like a side thing. Yeah. And meaning, like, it was off in the corner. It didn't have, and putting it as its own, we are able to just, like, it can be its own thing, and it can get the attention it needs and the support it needs to be a standalone event. And so I was really happy that we made that move. And I liked seeing it play out the way it did, because the vibe there was so cool.
It was awesome. Yeah.
Such a community feel and a community event.
And just different. Like, so many of the athletes have kids of their own and grandkids, and they were there watching. And I don't know, like, I know people like to complain about change, but I don't know. I think it was a really good move, and I think it's the best for like the open age groups to have their own event. And I think it's awesome for the masters as well. So yeah, I can't wait to go back.
Great. You're gonna make a run for it again this year?
Yeah, I can't not. Like, in order for me not to do it, I would just have to not do the open. Like, once I'm in the season, I'm just like, I'm in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was Jason McDonald one of your L1 instructors?
He wasn't, but he's from like my hometown.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, he's from New Glasgow, Nova Scotia, which is where I'm from. Actually, I lied. I think he was one of my L1 instructors.
Okay.
Pete Shaw was one of them. Yeah. And I also, like, I've known Pete for a long time. I lived in Ottawa, Ontario for many years, so I know Pete and Paul and like those guys pretty well. And Pete was one, Jason was one, and then for my L2, it was a guy named Ben and Pete again. Ben. Oh God, Coach Ben P is his Instagram handle, but I can't think of his last name.
I must not. Might be newer. When was your L2?
It was 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 years ago. And I think he might have been maybe like getting evaluated like on my L2, so he might be a newer.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how it all works, but yeah.
Tell me about your gym. Is it just a dedicated CrossFit gym, or is there other stuff going on in there?
So we have, it's kind of part of the cool story. So this gym has been in existence, not as a CrossFit, for probably more than 10 years. It started in a guy's garage, and he started it for it to be like almost like a hardcore, like, powerlifting, strongman, strength and conditioning gym. And it was on Renfrew Road. That's why it's called Renfrew. And then it moved a couple times into like regular buildings. And then approximately 2 years ago, I wandered in just like looking for a gym in the area, because I had just moved to the area. And I walked into this gym, and it was like, super hardcore, like metal weights and a monolift and like strongman stuff everywhere and like constantly heavy metal. And I say this with respect, but just like shit everywhere and dirty, very hardcore vibe. But there were some guys there like busting out wads, and there was CrossFit stuff there. There was echo bikes and stuff. So anyway, I started just like doing my thing there, doing my own workouts, training on my own. And, but the whole time I was like, this needs to be a CrossFit gym, and there's not one here. And there's so many people here. It's like a growing community. And like, anyway, so I met my business partner, who's hiding in the background, which is his role. He's too shy to be on the camera. Anyway, I met my business partner also at that gym, and both of us were very involved in the sport of weightlifting as well, Olympic style weightlifting. And we just started talking, and I was like, man, like this needs to be a CrossFit gym, and like we should make it one. And he kind of chuckled at me and like walked away. And then a couple weeks later, he like came back to me and he's like, you know that idea like about the CrossFit gym? He's like, I think we should do that. I was like, all right, it's on. Like, so then we talked to the owners who were sort of thinking about getting out of the gym ownership business at the time. And we bought the business from them. We affiliated it like pretty early on. We ran our first open as a CrossFit affiliate, not last year, but the year before. So 2023, we hadn't even started classes at that time. We had 8 people sign up, but it was like a making history moment. And then last year we did the open again, and we had 50 people sign up. So it was cool to see the change over the year. And then this year we're already at almost 60 people. I think we're 6th in Canada, which is pretty cool. Yeah, because we're still growing. Like, but our challenge was just like a culture change. Like this gym went from like hardcore strongman, you know, heavy metal blasting to like now our gym is predominantly 40 plus women, just like crushing life. And it's just been the most rewarding thing I've ever done. The hardest thing for sure, but the most rewarding. Like, it's just been so cool to see.
What was that culture shift like? Like, there must have been some bumps in the road on going from like that to what you just described.
Yeah, there was. And some people left.
Yes.
Some people, you know, just couldn't deal with new owners. Like, we run this gym, you know, we just tightened up the screws a bit. We had to, you know, we had to run it more businessy. And with that comes, you know, rules and things. And so some people did leave. We never had the intention of like pushing anyone out. If you go to our website, our slogan is where individual goals find common ground. So we always wanted to be a training spot for everybody. We're super involved in weightlifting as well. So we have a dedicated weightlifting platforms, really nice equipment. We have an open gym area that's open. Oh, are you there? I lost you for a sec.
I'm here. Yeah, I'm here.
The goal was never to have anyone leave, but I guess like just with time and change, like our membership demographic has shifted. So when we first started, obviously we had no CrossFit members. Now we have about 70. We had about 80 or so open gym members, and like now it's about even. So I don't know. I think in time you might see it shift even more to like class members versus less open gym members, and that's okay. We're just kind of letting it evolve organically into
how would you describe the culture of your gym, or the culture that you've created and fostered?
So the culture that I, you know, always want to create and foster is a culture of inclusivity in the true sense of the word. So inclusivity that doesn't have to talk about inclusivity. You just walk in the gym and everyone's welcome. And when everyone's in the gym, everyone's just doing the gym. And I think and I feel like that's what we have accomplished, and that's what we're constantly striving to achieve. You look around, we have the only flags we have up are Canada, Nova Scotia, some CrossFit ones. Like, this is just a neutral zone where everyone can just be themselves. Our coaching team that we have is made up of a lot of original members that were at the hardcore strength and conditioning gym. There's one of them standing over there. He's doing some GHG. There's a couple around. And they're like still very much a huge part of the community, which we couldn't have this gym without them. So yeah, like we just want everyone to have a home, and CrossFit, like, I don't know, it's just the best thing that's ever happened to me. So all I want to do is just share it with as many people as I can.
Well, it sounds like your clients are very lucky to have you as someone as an owner, because you're so passionate and it's clear how much you care. A couple other questions. So the intramural, do you guys do like an intramural thing at your gym?
Yeah, we do. So I have this is our last year's shirt, blue team. We have blue team and red team. Oh, John, come over. So my business partner will show you. This is our red. He's the red team. This year.
Hi, John. Yeah. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Yes. Awesome.
So we do an intramural open. Our point system is not really based on anything to do with scores on workouts. We have, you can accumulate points for like judging and helping and all the just like participatory things. People are like scared to sign up for the open. So we really try to make it not scary. We run it in class. On that note, we are a huge supporter and follower of CAP. We follow CAP. We have from the beginning, and we absolutely love it. And following CAP actually makes running the open amazing, because they provide you with like class plans for running it in 2 heats, and we used it a lot last year. So yeah, we follow CAP. We do an intramural open. We run it all in class time. People love it. Yeah.
That's great to hear. I like to ask what people follow for programming, and cool.
It's a no-brainer. Like it's a no-brainer to follow CAP, unless you're doing your own programming, which a lot of people love doing. Like I don't understand why you wouldn't follow CAP. Like you're paying for it, and it's awesome. Like and it's great for coaching. Like we love it.
Great to hear. That's great to hear. If you have any other feedback on that topic, email me, dave@crossfit.com. I'd love to pass it on to the team. Or if you have any thoughts, do you in your quest to go to the games? Are you doing CAP, or what are you doing?
I'm currently, I'm weird because I compete in both sports. So I compete in weightlifting and CrossFit, and I'm not willing to give up one for the other. So I follow I do 2 sessions every day. I follow a dedicated weightlifting programming for my weightlifting, and I follow currently Sentinel training for my CrossFit programming.
Who's Sentinel? I don't think I've heard
Taylor Self.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah. I didn't know that.
And his programming, I have only been following it for, I don't know, 6 months or so, but it's really good. Really good notes. It's hard as hell. It's just hard enough to make you feel like, you can't do it, and then you do it and you do it. So yeah, it's been really good. I would recommend it for sure.
Very cool.
He's hilarious.
He is hilarious. Do you have any advice for any other people who are interested in opening up an affiliate, or who already have an affiliate, from things you've learned? Or recommendation, something you would say to someone?
Yeah, so I do have one recommendation, and I mean, I don't like to give people advice. Everyone's on their own path. But one thing I will say is that if you have a vision, you should stick to that vision, and you should have it well defined when you're going in. Like, I feel like a lot of people try to open a business, and then they sort of get sucked in by like, how do we get the most amount of people in the door? Well, I feel like it's better to get the right people in the door. And I mean, I was going to say this anyway, but it's a good kind of segue into it. Like, I have no interest in owning a gym. I want to own a CrossFit affiliate, and that is my vision. Like, I'm not giving that up. I'm not going to just like, oh, I have my community now, so I don't need to be an affiliate anymore. Like, no. Like, this is about being a part of the global something bigger. And that's my vision. And John is on board with that as well. So, I mean, everyone, again, has their own path, and I'm by no means, I don't know a lot. Like, I'm very new to this world of business, but having a vision, I feel like, is what will make you successful, and success is different for every person. For me, it's like spreading the CrossFit vibe, the old school CrossFit vibe, and I want to just continue doing that.
That's great. I really appreciate hearing that. And I love this. When I asked you for what advice you'd give, you highlighted something that I even think I would say, like, hey, everyone's on their own path. Like, that's a great line. And it is so true, because everyone's needs and and what they're going to want to hear is going to be very different.
Yeah.
But again, having your goal and your vision and letting that guide you as an anchor is great advice. Well, this has been wonderful, Megan. I appreciate the time and I enjoyed the conversation. Hopefully, if I'm ever up there, I'll drop in.
That would be
But
amazing.
Your community is very lucky, extremely lucky to have you running the ship. And our community, the greater CrossFit community, is very lucky to have owners like you and people, ambassadors representing CrossFit like you do. So thank you, Megan. Thanks and keep doing it. And if you ever need any help from me or HQ, Dave@CrossFit.com, just hit me up.
And thank you for being such a great leader. It's people like you that make me want to work hard. So thank you for all you do as well.
Thanks a lot, Megan. That means a lot to me.
Bye, Dave Castro.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Dave.
Bye.
See ya.